What comes to mind when you think of Hollywood? Glamorous mansions, luxury cars, and extravagant lifestyles. While most stars are known for their flashy lifestyles, some A-listers choose to live modestly, almost as if they're just like us. From skipping luxury mansions to driving everyday cars, these actors are redefining what it means to be rich. Here are 15 stars that live like they're poor. Keke Palmer. When you think of Keke Palmer, you probably imagine a talented actress, singer, and host who seems to have it all. From her breakout role in Aquila and the Bee to her powerful performances in Nope and Hustlers, Keke has been in the spotlight for most of her life. But what many people don't know is that her journey wasn't always as glamorous as it seems. At just 12 years old, Keke became the financial backbone of her family. While most kids her age were worried about school, she was juggling the pressure of earning money to support her loved ones. By 18, despite having a business manager, she found herself filing for bankruptcy. That wake-up call changed everything. Keke knew she needed to take control of her finances, so she made a bold decision: live well below her means. During the 2024 Building Wealth Today for Tomorrow Financial Empowerment Summit, Keke shared how she manages her money now. She explained, "If I got $10,000 in the bank, then my house would be $500 a month. I can probably afford something $2,500 maybe, but I'm going way under." So why does she live like this? Because Keke wants to invest in her future. Instead of spending big on flashy items, she pours her money into her business and passions. Speaking of which, her current car is a Toyota. She prefers to buy clothes from Zara, not Gucci. And yet, she still enjoys a comfortable life, just without the excess. Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is one of Hollywood's most famous and highest-paid actresses, with a net worth of $160 million. From her Oscar-nominated role in Winter's Bone in 2011 to her iconic portrayal of Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games series, she quickly became a household name. But despite her fame and fortune, Jennifer has always stayed true to her humble roots. At the peak of her Hunger Games fame, Jennifer was still driving a Volkswagen EOS. It wasn't some flashy sports car or luxury vehicle, but a practical ride costing about $39,000. Some even called it the kind of car a newcomer to Hollywood would drive. But for Jennifer, it was more than enough. She only upgraded her car after winning the Best Actress Oscar for Silver Linings Playbook, when she was seen driving a Chevy Volt. And it's not just her choice of car that shows her down-to-earth nature. Jennifer still lives in the same 3-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles, even though she could easily afford a mansion. In an interview with Fabulous magazine, she explained, "I was raised to have value for money, to have respect for money, even though you have a lot of it." But did you know that Jennifer's frugality extends to her everyday life too? According to Parade, she does her own shopping, hunts for bargains, and avoids splurging on high-end stores. Even when she's traveling, she stays away from overpriced hotel minibars and often prefers a quiet night in overhitting the town. Her simple lifestyle is refreshing in an industry known for excess, and she's certainly managed to stay grounded while being one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. Keanu Reeves. Being one of Hollywood's most beloved actors, Keanu Reeves is known for his iconic roles in The Matrix and John Wick franchises, and with a net worth of $380 million, you'd think he lives a life of luxury. But Keanu is anything but flashy. In fact, he's famous for his modest lifestyle and his belief that money isn't the key to happiness. Despite his incredible success, Keanu has always stayed humble. Instead of living in an extravagant mansion, he resides in a small apartment in Los Angeles. While other stars drive expensive sports cars, Keanu is perfectly happy with his Honda Accord. He's even been spotted taking public transportation and eating alone at simple restaurants. For Keanu, it's not about showing off, it's rather about staying grounded. Keanu's view on money is inspiring. In a 2006 interview, he said, "Money doesn't mean anything to me. I've made a lot of money, but I want to enjoy life and not stress myself building my bank account." This mindset explains why he gives away so much of his wealth. He's donated millions to hospitals and cancer research, causes close to his heart. During the filming of John Wick 4, he gifted Rolex watches to his stunt crew, each engraved with a personal message. But Keanu's generosity goes beyond big gestures. A Hollywood insider revealed that he often recognizes the hard work of others, like crew members, who are essential to his success. He's also said that having less stuff helps reduce stress and allows him to focus on what really matters, which is using his talent to make a difference. It's no wonder fans and colleagues alike admire him so much. Sarah Michelle Gellar. When you hear the name Sarah Michelle Gellar, you probably think of her iconic role as Buffy in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But behind the scenes, Sarah is far from the typical Hollywood spender. She's not just an actress, she's a smart entrepreneur who knows the value of a dollar. Even with a successful career and a thriving baking company called Food Stirs, Sarah still cuts coupons and thinks twice before making a purchase. In a 2018 interview with CNBC Make It, Sarah shared a story that proves she's all about saving money. She recalled being at Bloomingdale's, digging through coupons while doing her holiday shopping. The person behind her was clearly annoyed and asked why someone like her would bother with coupons. Sarah's response was simple. Why should I pay more? Like, if there's a coupon there, I'm going to use it. She went on to explain her philosophy. Just because you're successful doesn't mean that you should be errant in your spending. I've never believed that. That mindset keeps her grounded, even in a world where splurging is the norm. But Sarah's money-saving habits don't stop at coupons. She's careful with her spending in other ways, too. For example, she used to drive long distances just to fill up her gas tank at the cheapest station she could find. Her husband, actor Freddie Prinze Jr., would tease her about it, saying, "But you're driving farther, you're using gas to get there." Sarah admitted that sometimes her principles might not make sense, but she stuck to them anyway. Even as an entrepreneur, Sarah stays cautious. Her company, Food Stirs, raised $5 million in investments and became a hit, landing on CNBC's Upstart 25 list. But despite her success, she avoids making big purchases or writing large checks unnecessarily. Mila Kunis. Now, Mila Kunis might be one of Hollywood's biggest stars, but her approach to money is far from what you'd expect. Despite being named one of Forbes' highest-paid actors in 2018, Mila prefers to live modestly, even when it comes to big milestones like her wedding. Mila and Ashton Kutcher, her husband and former That 70s Show co-star, got married in 2015. But instead of splurging on expensive wedding bands, Mila turned to Etsy for a budget-friendly solution. In a 2016 interview on Conan, she explained, "Our wedding bands are from Etsy. I was looking at Tiffany wedding bands and the prices were astronomical. I went on Etsy and it was like $90 and I was like, buy now." That practical mindset isn't new for Mila. On the Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend podcast, she shared, "I have a very hard time being wasteful." It's a lesson she learned early in life. Mila's family moved to the U.S. from Ukraine when she was just 7 years old, fleeing the Soviet Union. They came with only $250 to their name. Growing up with immigrant parents who sacrificed everything to give her a better future shaped Mila's outlook on money. Speaking of which, her cautious habits extend beyond her wedding. Mila avoids waste, like using plastic bottles, to stay environmentally conscious. She's also passed these values down to her family, focusing on sustainable and mindful living. Even with her success in movies like Bad Moms and Black Swan, Mila stays grounded. Her choices remind us that wealth isn't about how much you spend, but how you value what you have. Eminem. Eminem, one of the most successful rappers of all time, is known for his sharp lyrics and massive hits. Despite amassing a $250 million fortune, Eminem defies expectations with his surprisingly modest approach to money. In a 2010 interview with the New York Times, Eminem revealed his mindset about money. When asked what he does with his wealth, he said, "Save it. I save a lot of money by not buying drugs anymore. I invest. I always try to be smart." He added, "I try to treat all the money I'm making like it's the last time I'm going to make it." This cautious attitude comes from his tough upbringing and the financial mistakes he saw loved ones make. Eminem's frugal nature even extends to small purchases. In an interview with Anderson Cooper, he shared a funny story about wanting to buy a Rolex watch. Even though he had already sold millions of albums, he called his manager to ask if he could afford it. He eventually bought the watch, but he never wears it because he's afraid of scratching it. Instead, he prefers his $100 G-Shock. But calling Eminem cheap wouldn't be fair. While he's careful about how he spends, he's willing to spend on things that matter. For instance, he reportedly helped fund his daughter Elena's lavish wedding. He also owns multiple homes in Michigan and invests in collectibles, like a rare Spider-Man comic worth over $1 million. Eminem doesn't just focus on himself either. Through the Marshall Mathers Foundation, he gives back to communities in need. Whether it's charity, real estate, or a special gift, Eminem makes sure his money is put to good use. Leonardo DiCaprio. Known for his roles in blockbuster hits like Titanic and The Wolf of Wall Street, you'd expect Leonardo DiCaprio to indulge in a life of luxury, complete with private jets and fancy cars. But Leo has made it clear that he's not just about glitz and glamour. He's serious about protecting the environment, and it shows in his lifestyle. In 2021, DiCaprio made headlines when he attended the International Climate Change Conference COP26 in Glasgow. Instead of flying on a private jet like many celebrities, he opted for a commercial flight. The Oscar-winning actor was spotted traveling economy class. This decision was a sharp contrast to his 2016 controversy, when he was criticized for using a private jet to travel 8,000 miles to accept an environmental award. Clearly, DiCaprio is now walking the talk. But it's not just his flying habits that reflect his commitment to sustainability. When it comes to cars, Leonardo has long been a fan of the Toyota Prius, a hybrid vehicle known for its fuel efficiency and low emissions. Speaking about his car, DiCaprio said, "I own a Toyota Prius. It's a step in the right direction. It's a gasoline-electric mid-size car that gets about 50 miles per gallon. We have the technology to make every car produced in America today just as clean, cheap, and efficient." And to spread the eco-friendly message, Leo bought 3 more Priuses for his family members. "My family and I drive them all over Los Angeles. I can't find any downside," he shared. His choices clearly reflect his passion for environmental causes. He's not just making statements, he's living by them. Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is one of the world's most successful musicians, with a net worth of around $200 million. But despite his massive fortune and 4 Grammy Awards, Ed lives a surprisingly simple life. Unlike other celebrities who splash out on luxury cars or designer clothes, Ed has chosen a different path, one that prioritizes modesty and discipline. In an interview with the Irish Examiner, Ed revealed he gives himself a monthly allowance of just $1,000. Why? Because he knows he'd be tempted to spend it all if he had unlimited access to his money. "If I had all my money in one account, I would spend all of it, so I get an allowance," he explained. This budget mostly goes toward paying for taxis. And even with millions in the bank, Ed still uses his old Barclays student account, with no plans to upgrade anytime soon. And when it comes to vacations, Ed keeps it low-key. Instead of jetting off to expensive destinations, he prefers staying home and watching movies. "I bought 200 films on Amazon. They're pretty much giving DVDs away for free these days," he joked. He also added, "You never want to be wasteful." Ed's humble lifestyle might seem odd for someone so wealthy, but it makes sense when you hear about his past. Before hitting it big, Ed faced some tough times. At one point, he didn't even have a place to live. "There was an arch outside Buckingham Palace that has a heating duct, and I spent a couple of nights there," he shared in his book A Visual Journey. For much of 2008 to 2010, Ed didn't have a stable place to stay, yet he made it work. Even now, Ed doesn't keep all his wealth to himself. "I have enough to be comfortable, and the rest goes to help people," he said. Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley is one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces, known for iconic roles in movies like Pride and Prejudice and Pirates of the Caribbean. She has an estimated net worth of $80 million, but Keira has surprised fans with her modest spending habits and down-to-earth lifestyle. In a 2014 interview with Glamour magazine, Keira revealed that she gives herself an annual salary of just $50,000. While she allows for flexibility if she needs to spend more, she likes to stick to this budget. Her reasoning is that she doesn't want her wealth to separate her from the people and experiences that matter most. "I think living an expensive lifestyle means you can't hang out with people who don't live that lifestyle. It alienates you," she explained. "Some of my best, most hilarious times have been in the least luxurious places." Kira's simple approach to money helps her stay grounded in an industry known for excess. Despite earning millions from her acting roles, she prefers to focus on what truly makes her happy, like spending time with loved ones and enjoying the little things in life. Her modest habits go beyond just her salary. Speaking of which, did you know that Kira and her husband, James Wrighton, were once spotted using separate checkouts at their local Tesco grocery store, proving that fame hasn't changed her everyday routines? But make no mistake, Kira is financially savvy. She manages her earnings through her company, KCSK Boo Limited, which recorded millions in profits over the years. Her mother even helps oversee the financial accounts, keeping everything in check. For Kira, it's not about the money. It's about maintaining balance. She's resisted the lure of fame and fortune to live a life that feels authentic and connected. Julia Fox. Julia Fox may be a rising star in Hollywood, but her real-life choices are far from what you'd expect. While many celebrities show off their luxurious homes and expensive lifestyles, Julia prefers to keep things simple. In 2023, she surprised fans by giving a tour of her modest New York City apartment on TikTok. The apartment, which she shares with her young son Valentino, is nothing like the sprawling mansions you'd associate with a star. Instead, it's a cozy, lived-in space filled with love and meaning. Some people were quick to criticize her for living in such a small space, especially given the rumors about her having a $30 million net worth. Julia didn't hold back in her response. In a follow-up TikTok, she said, "First of all, I'm not worth $30 million, not even close. And second of all, I don't give a I don't need $30 million. What does one person need $30 million for?" For Julia, it's not about wealth, it's about what really matters. She explained that the apartment holds a special place in her heart because it's where she brought her son home from the hospital. It's his home. It really is Valentino's apartment. It's like a sentimental thing, she shared. Even though she could probably afford a bigger place, she chooses not to. It's about having that sense of normalcy for Valentino, she said. But did you know that Julia's upbringing also plays a big role in her decisions? She revealed that she grew up in the real world and wants the same for her son. "I don't want him to grow up and be like a fing prick, you know what I mean? I want him to be in touch with the effing real world." Her apartment tour showed fans how grounded she is. There's no fancy furniture or over-the-top decor, just a functional space where she can raise her son. For Julia, living simply isn't a sacrifice, it's a choice. Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the richest men in the world, worth over $100 billion. Known as the Oracle of Omaha, he's the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, a company that owns big names like Duracell and Dairy Queen. But despite his massive fortune, Warren Buffett is famous for living a surprisingly simple and frugal life. For starters, Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for just $31,500. Located in Omaha, Nebraska, the 5-bedroom home is now worth about $1 million, which is a tiny fraction of his net worth. But he has no plans to move. "I'm happy there. I'd move if I thought I'd be happier someplace else," he said in an interview. He explained that the house is perfect for him. "I'm warm in the winter, I'm cool in the summer, it's convenient for me. I couldn't imagine having a better house." Buffett also keeps his spending habits down to earth. Despite being one of Apple's largest investors, he didn't switch to an iPhone until 2020. Before that, he used an old Nokia flip phone. "You're looking at an 89-year-old guy who's barely beginning to get with it," he joked during a CNBC interview. When it comes to breakfast, don't expect extravagant dishes. Buffett loves McDonald's and decides what to order based on how the stock market is doing. "If the market's down, I go for the $2.95 option," he said. On a bad day, he opts for 2 sausage patties and a Coke. Even when buying cars, Buffett looks for deals. His daughter once revealed that he buys hail-damaged vehicles to save money, and he drives them for years until they're no longer usable. And Buffett's frugal lifestyle isn't just about saving money. It reflects his philosophy on life. He values quality over flashiness, whether it's his favorite Chinese-made suits or his hobbies like playing bridge or strumming his ukulele. Shailene Woodley. You may remember Shailene Woodley from her breakout role in The Secret Life of the American Teenager, or her stunning performance in Divergent. While she's known for her captivating on-screen presence and glamorous red carpet appearances, Shailene is just as famous for her down-to-earth personality and giving spirit. Shailene has worn countless designer outfits to high-profile events, but she doesn't keep them for herself. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, she revealed that her red carpet looks are donated to charity. "Someone else will wear it after me, and then it will eventually get auctioned off for charity," she said. It's a simple yet impactful way she gives back while embracing the glitz of Hollywood. But don't be fooled by the glitz. Shailene's personal style is far from flashy. She prefers sustainable, comfortable clothing like organic leggings and barefoot-style five-toe shoes. However, she knows that her career often requires her to dress up. "If I was to show up wearing my five-toe shoes, my Melodia organic leggings, and some hippie top, no one is going to take me seriously," she admitted. Her grounded approach to life comes from her upbringing. Shailene grew up in a modest household and credits her family for teaching her the value of hard work. "I started babysitting at 10 years old so I could make a little extra cash," she told InStyle. For Shailene, money was never about luxury, it was about freedom. As a kid, if I had enough cash to put gas in my car, it meant I could go on a road trip with my friends. If I had enough money to go see a movie, I could go to the movie theater, she said. Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks might be known for her stunning modeling career and hit TV show America's Next Top Model, but behind the glamour, she's surprisingly frugal. From a young age, Tyra learned the importance of saving money, and it's a lesson that has stuck with her throughout her life. In an interview with Money, Tyra shared how her mother taught her the value of smart financial decisions. "Even before my career, I was a saver," she said. While other kids might have been quick to spend their allowance, Tyra was the opposite. "My brother was a spender. I was a saver. I would hold on to it forever and dole it out slowly." Her mom also gave her a key piece of advice: invest in real estate. Living in Los Angeles, where property prices tend to rise, Tyra took that advice to heart. Instead of blowing her modeling paychecks on luxury items, she stayed in budget-friendly hotels like the DoubleTree or Embassy Suites during Fashion Week. While other models were buying designer clothes or partying, Tyra was saving her money and bought her first house at just 20 years old. "She explained to me investing is super important," Tyra said. But Tyra's love for saving made her do more. At one point, she saved so much money that her accountants had to step in. "About 15 years ago, my accountants pulled me aside and they were like, 'Tyra, you're not spending money, nothing. You're just giving it away to the government. You need to spend some damn money,'" Tyra shared. To help balance her habits, her accountants even created a separate account specifically for frivolous spending. Even with a budget for fun, Tyra continues to prioritize financial security. Kristen Bell, the star of The Good Place and Veronica Mars, might have a net worth of $40 million, but she's not one to splurge on extravagant things. Instead, she's proud of her down-to-earth approach to life and money. Did you know that one of Kristen Bell's favorite hobbies is shopping with coupons? In a 2012 interview with Conan O'Brien, Kristen shared how much she loves hunting for deals. She even admitted her fondness for Bed Bath & Beyond's famous 20% off coupons. "I'll hold on to those coupons like gold," she joked. For Kristen, it's not about the money. It's about the thrill of saving and making smart choices. This love for simplicity also showed on her wedding day. Kristen and her husband, Dax Shepard, could have had the most lavish wedding Hollywood has ever seen. Instead, they chose something meaningful and stress-free: a courthouse ceremony. The couple tied the knot in 2013 at the Beverly Hills courthouse, wearing matching black outfits. The entire wedding, including gas money and their playlist, cost just $147. "He bought all of my favorite songs from high school to play in the car on the way there," Kristen said. For her, it wasn't about the price tag, but the love and joy behind the day. Speaking of which, Kristen and Dax carry this frugal mindset into other parts of their lives. They skip giving each other expensive gifts for Christmas and birthdays. Instead, they use those occasions to give back. The couple prefers helping people in need rather than spending money on themselves. Even though Kristen's engagement ring reportedly cost $100,000, She shows that you don't need to live extravagantly to be happy. Sarah Jessica Parker. While the famous actor may be known as the fashionable Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City, famous for her love of Manolo Blahniks and glamorous Manhattan life, but in reality, Parker's upbringing was far from luxurious. In a New York Times interview, the actress shared her humble beginnings, growing up on welfare with 7 siblings. "I remember being poor. There was no great way to hide it," she said. Her family often struggled to pay bills, sometimes going without electricity, Christmas, or even birthdays. Parker's early experiences shaped her perspective on money. Despite her success, she strives for a balance between saving and indulging. "I can be profligate and super frugal," she told InStyle, "and I think it is rather warped since it comes from this desire to save, save, save." Yet, she admits to occasionally treating herself to items she loves. "I have been working so hard for 25 years. Why can't I have another pair of Manolo Blahnik shoes or that bag that I love?" Her love for thrift stores started long before her rise to fame. She credits her mom as her biggest influence, saying, "Thrift stores played such a huge part in my life before Sex and the City." Her mother taught her and her siblings how to dress creatively without spending much. Even now, Parker avoids being a big shopper, though she admits to having wonderful shoes and appreciating the chance to borrow beautiful designer outfits for events. "I dress based on what I have," she explained. As a mother, Parker wants her kids to grow up differently than she did. "The thing I want most for my children, I would like for them to not be aware of money, which means I have been very aware of my financial situation," she said. And there they are, Hollywood actors who prove that you don't need to spend millions to live a fulfilling life. These stars show us that simplicity and staying grounded can shine brighter than any red carpet moment. Which of these actors surprised you the most? Or do you know other celebrities who live modestly? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from Hollywood's fascinating history. See you next time.